What's up, wrestling fans? Tony Mango here, welcoming you to another edition of the Internet Wrestling Community Outreach portion of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast for the week. We're going to be starting things off the way that we normally do here with the Smark My Words, otherwise known as the fan-submitted comment of the week that I'm picking. And the winner this week is Michael Sampson for a comment that he left on our Smark announce table for the 2005 Money in the Bank match. He must have just checked out that video the other day. And he says, great commentary from all you guys. As a fan of Chris Benoit, I also appreciate how you handled watching him and enjoying the match regardless of what happened to him in the end. Hoping you guys continue calling more classic matches soon, and then a little smiley face at the end. So thank you, Michael, for not only leaving the comment and for the praise, but also for not complaining about the way that we were talking about Benoit. I don't remember for sure exactly how we were doing it, but there's always going to be people on two sides. You got people who say you should separate the art from the artwork, and I agree with that when it comes to movies, but I don't agree with that when it comes to Chris Benoit and the WWE Hall of Fame. However, I do agree when you are talking about a match with Chris Benoit, you should separate the artist from the artwork. And Benoit matches can still be fun, even though we know what he ended up doing. We should not lose track of that kind of a thing. And I'm sure that we mentioned it at some point, and I'm sure that we made some kind of a stupid, horrible joke about it. But at the same time, you can't just start going, well, all the matches sucked. Because they don't. They still are good matches if they were good matches. And if they were a bad match, they're still a bad match. You can't support what he did, but you shouldn't have that taint absolutely everything that has ever been involved in Chris Benoit. So I know that there's going to be people that think that you should, and there's people that think that you should just remove all of his content from the network and different things like that. I personally disagree. So I'm glad that you are on the same kind of track when it comes to that. And yes, we will try to do some different classic matches in the future. I like doing the Smark announce tables quite a bit. It's just a matter of trying to get people involved and trying to get more scheduling issues out of the way and finding the right time to be able to do it when it comes to motivation for like a specific match and stuff like that. And for that matter, I still want to do more fan tracks on Fanboys. You know, I keep saying that I want to do Marvel's Civil War. I still want to do Batman v Superman. I still want to do Suicide Squad, although I'm not as big of a fan as doing that again now that I watched it a second time. I still want to do, a buddy of mine is a huge Bond fan, and he and I have talked in the past about just doing every single Bond film for fan tracks, and I would love to do every Royal Rumble for Smark Announce Table. I'd love to do an entire WrestleMania one time. Or just maybe go back in time and check out a couple other matches. I don't know. But anytime that you guys have any suggestions of what things you'd like to see us do with Smark Announce Table for, always pitch them my way. You know, I'll write them down in my list and I'll see if I can get around to them. So thank you to Michael. Thank you to all the other people that left comments all over the place as well. On YouTube, on Twitter, and all the different avenues that we have, including our group on Facebook that you should definitely join if you are not a part of it yet. You'll find that over at facebook.com/groups/the Megamaniacs. That's where we do our live chats throughout the week for the shows, and we also post other stupid things, whether it's memes or polls to get your opinions about different things, or if we just want to put out there something about like, LOL, Nia Jax has a big butt. I don't know, whatever the case may be. So go ahead and sign up for that one. We'd love to have you guys, and I'm sure that you're going to have some fun. Start sending in your questions for the April mailbag special. That'll be happening sometime over the next couple of weeks. And you can send in those questions in a couple of different ways, such as tweeting at SmarkOutMoment with the hashtag mailbag, or leaving an email through the contact form of the website. And whether it's a wrestling-related question or something completely unrelated to wrestling, if you want to pick our brains about it, go ahead and send it in, and hopefully we will be answering it on that next edition. If you're looking to help support the growth of Smark Out Moment for the future, there's a couple things that you should be aware of. If it's a monetary donation that you are so generous as to pass our way, you can do so with 3 different methods: Patreon, the fan funding YouTube module, or our PayPal account. That's at the bottom of smarkoutmoment.com. You can also buy t-shirts and all the other types of different merchandise that are on our Redbubble and our TeePublic shops. We actually have 2 other TeePublic shops as well on top of that, so if you want to browse A Mango Tees or Fanboys Anonymous, maybe you want to pick up something there, but all that money goes towards trying to, put money into all these things as well. And you can also help spread the word about the website in a couple of different ways that are going to help us out, such as the Sign Me Up initiative. For that, all you got to do is, if you go to a wrestling show, take a sign that says Smark Out Moment, hold that up throughout the whole thing. Send me a picture of yourself holding it up. Not obviously through the entire thing, but you don't know what I mean. And when you send that picture to me, I'll give you a little shout out on the website and stuff as a thank you for that. But most importantly of all, you can help us grow our audience on our social media platforms by liking and sharing our posts on Facebook, retweeting and following us on Twitter. When it comes to YouTube, you should be leaving those comments below to keep the discussion going there. You should be hitting the thumbs up button. Obviously, if you haven't subscribed yet, you should be doing that. And you can also share the website's articles and the videos and anything else that's happening on things like Reddit and on message boards and stuff like that. All that stuff is going to help out quite a bit because it all helps get our name out there. And the same thing applies to Fanboys Anonymous, my spot for movie reviews and other nerdy kind of topics like that that are not on the wrestling side of things. So if you are interested in geeking out with me on that kind of stuff, then head on over to fanboysanonymous.com, follow those Facebook and Twitter accounts. Of course, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Check out the Power Rangers review. Such a good movie. You should definitely check that out if that was something that you were a fan of as a kid. Ghost in the Shell is going to be coming out this week, so I'm going to be doing reviews for that. So stay tuned for that kind of stuff. And that brings us to the major topic of the video, the wrestling trivia question of the week, aka the Ask Him. Now, there was still potential to add one more person to the Hall of Fame, and we had heard a couple other names in the mix, so I was hoping that maybe we'd hear one more, but we didn't. So this question was in, advance of maybe that they would end up announcing him. It was, which rumored future WWE Hall of Famer once wrestled under the moniker of Hellraiser? Apparently, William Regal was under that name at some point in his career. Not exactly sure when, but Hellraiser. A little strange, isn't it? So, who got it right, who got it wrong, whatever. Bobby Lesnar G86 says, I have no idea. Also, fuck you, Silent Wind of Doom, if we're getting comment of the week. And the Dominator 39R says, Chris Benoit or Lance Storm. All those incorrect. No other guesses this week. I guess it was an obscure enough thing that nobody really wanted to take a shot. But William Regal, yeah. Hellraiser, William Regal. It's a little bit different than Lord Steven Regal and the Real Man's Man and whatever like that. Picturing William Regal with the little pinhead thing going on. So this brings us to this week's question, which is going to be about WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is obviously coming up in the next couple of days. So let's go back in time to WrestleMania 1 and see if you guys know this answer. This is going to be a little bit less obscure. How much money was on the line for the Body Slam Challenge at WrestleMania 1? It's putting it out there. It's a pretty simple one. And if you know the answer, leave a comment. If you don't know the answer, leave a comment and say you don't know. Or you toss out anything else you want to toss out, guesses, or just add something to the Fuck That Guy Club, or whatever the case may be. And next week I will tell you the answer for that one, and we'll break down everything else we need to break down. But that's it for this week's edition of the IWC Outreach. I want to thank you all for listening, and I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and do all the other stuff that I mentioned earlier. And stay tuned to the Facebook feed, the Twitter feed, the channel, and the website for more. Our main event for this week is going to be coming up whenever we get a chance to record these things, which is going to be 4 actual different sets of things. We've got NXT TakeOver predictions, WrestleMania predictions, then of course the NXT TakeOver post-show, and then WrestleMania post-show. So you got 4 things to be looking forward to that's coming up a little bit later on this week, whether it's Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening. Of course, obviously the post-show is going to be Saturday evening and Sunday evening, but we'll get around to them when we get around to them, and hopefully you guys will be tuning in for those, and I want to thank you in advance for doing that, if that's the case. But for now, this has been another Smark Out moment, and I am being counted out.